Hi, this is Shubhain Chakraborty for Revsportz. With me is Debashish Sen. We are here in Ahmedabad for the big World Cup final between India and Australia. Let's see what our team Revsportz is doing in Kolkata at the JW Marriott in Vintage Asia. Thanks to Swiggy Dine Out.
Australia are through to the finals after a massive fight against South Africa in the semi-finals, and they will contest against India, who are heading into this final unbeaten. Because this is going to be such a grand final, it would only make sense if we had a grand lunch to discuss this match. India versus Australia. Trisha, set this up for me.
In 2003, it was India versus Australia, and I'm sure everybody now knows this. So me and my sister had decorated the entire house with Indian flags. And the first question my mom asked when Australia qualified was, are you going to do the same? And my answer was no, because we had lost back then, and this time we don't want to lose. Well, I would say in the competition, the two best sides have qualified for the finals. It will be a tough match, but I like how you were going to, call India the mighty Indians, because in this competition we have been mighty Indians, and I think we have an edge. Sure edge.
Absolutely, and we're here at the JW Marriott, and we have this wonderful spread in Vintage Asia, so it would be fitting to have all Asian food. We have some sushi, some chicken and all of that. But Raja, India versus Australia, right? You looked at the semi-final match between Australia and South Africa. The only difference we could see there, both are fighting sides, but the top order, right? The Rohit Sharma starts, the aggressive starts. Australia cannot do that.
Travis had attempted that and pulled it off. So I'm hoping that India will have an answer to that. You've got Bumrah and Shami bowling brilliantly in the whole of the World Cup. The key really is how well they bowl to the Australians and how they stop the Australian top order from going away with plenty of runs. They've beaten Australia in this tournament, and I'm sure they will beat them one more time.
I think after Pakistan, the India-Australia rivalry is the next big one, at least in my opinion. So it's going to be a massive game, massive players from both ends. Mohammad Shami has been in great form. I mean, I'm loving the way he's bowling. So the Aussie batsmen better watch out, because Mohammad Shami is going to run in fast and probably steam them through.
Shami has a superb record against left-handers. At the very beginning, they are opening with both left-handers. It will be interesting to see if Rohit suddenly changes the tactics and maybe gives the new ball to Mohammad Shami. Also, I kind of don't rule out seeing Ashwin, because remember, the only game that Ashwin played in this competition was against Australia. Also, in the last match against South Africa, it was an off-spinner who got David Warner in the first ball, and that was Aiden Markram. If Aiden Markram could do that, Ashwin can do a little better.
Absolutely. And Raja, similar question to you. You were talking about having Ashwin in your team. This is a conversation we've been having since the morning. Why so?
I think the track in Ahmedabad is going to be on the slower side. We've been reading about how it is a used track, and I think Ashwin has this psychological edge over Australia, not just against the left-handers. Yes. The Australians, he gets in their face, and I think India wants somebody like that. And Siraj hasn't been bowling the best. He's gone for plenty of runs, he's dropped catches. So you're not going to be any worse off. You might want to, the batting has been so brilliant, you might want to think of leaving Surya Kumar Yadav out of the squad. Bad decision if that happens. But Siraj going out and Ashwin coming in looks a very good possibility to me. Just like the food looks very good. You were talking about decoration. This has been done beautifully, hasn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, look at this. Look at these dumplings. Ishan, you had a piece of the chicken.
It's amazing.
How is
Absolutely amazing. But I have to add something on Ashwin as well. I think Ashwin should be in the playing level, because he's had experience in a prior World Cup as well. So when you're playing a World Cup final, which you've already played in the past, I think that will be very, very crucial going into this game. And obviously, the wicket's going to be on the slower side. So Ashwin with his off-spinners, beauty.
Trisha, how's the sushi?
It's brilliant.
It's salmon, right? It's a salmon sushi.
It melts in your mouth. The wasabi is way too much. So take only a little bit of it when you are having it. The prawn dumplings look so beautiful. The whole presentation makes has a feel-good factor. And
makes the food look more appetizing.
Absolutely.
I'll ask you to leave your Indian cricket fan aside and talk about this, as serious cricket fans. How do you see this? Do you see India winning?
As somebody who's followed sport for more than 4 decades, Gargi, one cannot be a fan. One remains an Indian, but one cannot be a fan. The whole idea of saying this Indian team looks dominant and the Australians look vulnerable is because we have seen that in the tournament. We have criticized the same Indian team. And if you're praising this Indian team, it's not because they've started winning 10 matches in a row, but because they've started playing to potential and bridging the gap between potential and performance. The Australian bowling attack has not been at its best in this whole tournament, and that's the reason why I think Indian bowlers will win this match for India rather than Australia.
Absolutely. Trisha?
Absolutely neutrally also, if you actually look at it, in a number of ways we are Indians are way ahead of Australia. Australia has shown that vulnerability. If you actually go back and think of it, even when we have lost quick wickets, we have a KL Rahul standing up, we have a Shreyas Iyer standing up. When you have Gagi, if you think of it, we have 6 different player of the matches out in 11 matches, and out of 11 players. In 10 matches, sorry. But my point here is the entire team is performing. You take one name, Kuldeep Yadav, he has stood up. Mohammad Shami, he has stood up. Even Siraj. Every single person has done their particular role so well that the team has done well. And that is why I feel it's definitely going towards India.
Ishan?
Yes, 100%. I think I got to agree with both of them. India has the upper edge in this game. But the Aussies, they're a team that love fighting back. They lost the first 2 games. Then they came back in the tournament and they started winning a lot of games. So they're a team that loves fighting back. So we can't really count them off. But it's going to be a really, really interesting game. Exciting matchups. We can't really say who's going to win. But my heart will always go with Team India.
It's going to be a dominating affair because India is going into this unbeaten, 10 out of 10. Come to Vintage Asia, come to JW Marriott. It's a wonderful ambience, wonderful place to see the match, discuss the match, have some food. Stay tuned to Revsportz.
Use Swiggy Dine Out, make your bookings. You can get 40% off and there's no membership fee.